I was in Mexico on vacation for a month, and on the plane back, it was from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico to Newark, and there was a gentleman in the seat behind me that I could tell was not well. He was coughing and sneezing and snoring and all red in the face, and that's how I think I got it. We got home on Saturday night, and the Newark airport, there was like no one there. We went right through customs. There was like nobody, which is very unusual. Went to the hotel where we did the park and fly, and it was closed, and my car was the only car in the lot. So we came home, and I dropped my friends off, and we came home, and I was fine. And I was fine the next day, and I started to develop a cough about Wednesday. So we're talking about 3 days. And then from there, I got a little slight fever, and I got a little worse cough, and then it kind of went away for a day or two, and then it came back, and that's when I went to the town of Ulster to have the COVID test done. At the end of the second week, I was wiped out. I couldn't hardly breathe anymore. I live alone, and so she came over because I wasn't answering the phone, and she brought her neighbor with her, who's a nurse, and they came into the house because she has a key to get in the house. And they came up, and I was in bed, and they got me up, and they called the ambulance to come take me to the hospital. At that point, I was like kind of delirious, and I couldn't breathe, couldn't hardly stand up. I was like that weak because they're just from my chest. And they called the ambulance to take me to the hospital, and they took my temperature, and the first time they did this, they didn't want to take me because I didn't have enough fever. And so the second night they called, they insisted that they take me. And I kind of like passed out on my way into the ambulance and don't remember anything until like 5 days later when I come off the ventilator. That's it. And so then I was sick and felt like I was going to die for probably 3-4 more days. And everybody kept saying, come on, you got to fight this. COVID wants you to give up. That's what the nurses kept telling me. And so I guess one of the doctors told Kathy that he's fighting it, that he doesn't really realize how sick he is. For 87 days before I came home just last Monday. Part of it was in Kingston Hospital for the COVID part. Then I was in Ellenville Hospital for rehab, because I couldn't walk or stand up or do anything, right? Because I have both oxygen and muscle damage, right? And so they put me back on the road to recovery where I can actually walk around and do stairs and stuff like that.
Right.
And I ended up with a wound on my right buttock, and so I had to go for surgery to have that taken care of, which I now have a wound vac attached for up to 2 to 3 months. I'm feeling better every day. I put a mask on. I get short of breath, and I have a little pulse ox meter. And if I do anything, just walk around, or if I walk 100 feet or whatever, my oxygen level still drops down below what it should be. There's lots of things they don't know about the virus. They don't know if the lung damage is permanent or if it'll repair itself. What it did to my heart, I had a blood clot in my arm while I was in the hospital. I had an AFib event in the hospital where my heart was beating 150 beats a minute, and it felt like somebody was nailed me to the bed. I couldn't move. It was just all across my chest. And that was after I was out of the ICU, actually, where the AFib. Thought I was in the clear. And so then they gave me some more drugs and fixed that. And so here I am. You don't want to get it. You want to take every precaution you can to not get it. Because some people it don't bother, but me, and I was in perfectly good health, it got me good. And that's all I can say about that.